seems that all the gardeners, all the landscape gardeners that do your yard for you seem to all be using the gas-powered anyway, regardless of the ban. Even if they've gotten their fine. And they seem to get away with it by running their gas-powered at a lower speed so that it's a little bit quieter, hoping that maybe the neighbors won't hear and call them in for a citation. But every day or every other day I see a gardener or several gardeners out there with their leaf blowers in the street all over. And they're typically running on a low unless they're in front of maybe a large apartment building, but just in the neighborhoods and just down the residential streets, they just run it at medium and they're looking around and they're all doing it.
I think from my perspective they have some options. They can either be indoors, or as some have said, triple pane windows, or have other means to mitigate that noise.
In some counties you can use an electric leaf blower, in some municipalities, you can use an electric leaf blower, but the actual frequency of the motor that they use in that is so shrill that I think realistically it hasn't made an improvement in overall in deadening the sound and keeping things tranquil, which is I believe the goal of most of the legislation covering leaf blowers.
And I do sympathize with people who live in the neighborhood where there's a lot of gardens going on, being maintained, such as here in Orinda. And I certainly would not want to use a gasoline blower. I mean, that's just my opinion. Just use it responsibly. I wouldn't support a ban. I think the other thing a blower does, I think for people who are paying for the garden service, I think it's a lot quicker to use a blower than to use a broom. I mean, I think there's a cost factor as well as the noise level and all that to be considered.
I think that for the workers who are using the gas blowers, a lot of them are working for someone else and not necessarily making very much per hour, and don't have health care a lot of times.
I don't like gas-powered tools generally because they end up going back to the shop often. And as long as you've got a power cord, the electric ones are fine. And the gardens I do are small enough that it's adequate for what I'm doing.
Bottom line is somebody will have to pay for the additional labor to do the same amount of work. It's a trade-off with the reduced background noise that those leaf blowers cause.